Just told the secret that the gurus are paying you $1 million for.
You can go out on a date. We can put you on a set.
Hey bosses, welcome back to my channel. It is me, Candace Renee. If you are returning, thank you so much. We rock with you. And if you are new here, welcome to the winning team. Today's video is going to be fun, interesting. I'm going to be talking about giving you a story time about how a robot helped me create my new business. But before we do get into that, I got a couple of announcements. So, I got to give my disclaimers. So first, what's fun about this story time is we doing it a little lit. So today I have been drinking beatbox, and where is that? It's like right here. So I decided like, hey, while I was lit, let me do a little story time. So this is what we drinking. Beatbox. It has 11% alcohol. I love this, y'all. Like, if you're trying to get lit on a budget, this is it. Kroger has it for like, I want to say like 3 for $10 or something. They're really inexpensive and they get you where you need to be. And also, I wanted to talk about this wig that I was wearing. So this is a headband wig. It is a headband wig. And I got this wig off of Amazon. I will link it down below and it will be in my Amazon storefront. If you are in between hairstyles, get you a headband wig, child. It's so cute. This is a 18-inch kinky curly. This is my first time ever wearing kinky anything, because I never really do kinky anything, but she's giving. She gives. So before we get started, I'm going to take me a little sippy sip and then we'll get into the story. No, I have a podcast which is called Buy Young, Live Smart. And you guys probably have seen me post 2 podcast episodes, and I have a third one on the way. I don't know if this video is going to come out first or the podcast episode is going to come out first. I don't know, but they'll come out around the same time. So I have both of those videos out, and I know you guys like watch my channel. You're like,
Where does this podcast come from? Like, where the hell did this come from? Like, what the fuck is this?
oh, I wanted to start a whole new business, right? I wanted to start a new business. I had the Wealthy Girl plot. You guys see me like promote the Wealthy Girl plot, promote my second channel. But this is no shade and no tea to anybody, but like I feel like it's so many business coaches out there that teach you how to market your business, teach you how to brand your business, teach you about Instagram and Facebook ads. Then there's so many content creator coaches out there that teach you how to be a content creator, teach you how to get brand deals and things like that. Which, don't get me wrong, I can still teach you guys that, of course, but I didn't want to be that because there's so many of that out there. And I'm not saying that you can't do it, but I'm just saying it's just like, I don't know if it's the Virgo in me, but like I like to be different. Like if I see a lot of people with something, I don't want it. Or if I see a lot of people have something, I don't want it, or I want something completely different. So for me, I was just like, I want something completely different. Like I want something completely different. I don't want something that everybody else has, right? So what I did is that I was thinking of what it is that I can monetize off of that people know me for. So if you guys are new here, if you guys don't know, if you don't follow me on Instagram, which I don't know why you don't, but if you don't follow me on Instagram, I am an Atlanta realtor. So I am a realtor in Atlanta. I've been a realtor for a little over a year now. But before I became a realtor, I was a investor, a home investor. So I had 2 investment properties that I have flipped and I made a profit off of. And so when I post my real estate content on my page, I get a lot of traction. Like when I post my other content, it be doing all right. But when I post my real estate content, that get the most likes, the most shares, like the most saves, anything, right? And I get the most questions about real estate. And one day I did a poll. I said, what do y'all know me for the most? And everybody voted real estate, right? So that's one thing that y'all can do. Like figure out what people know you for and figure out something that you're really good at. When you're trying to figure out how to start a business, sell a digital product, anything, figure out something that you are really good at, right? So when I figured out, okay, I'm really good at real estate and things of that nature, I'm like, okay, I need to figure out how I can monetize off of real estate. Now, I'm not going to be the one to like sugarcoat. The real estate industry is moving like a snail. And it's because interest rates is like sky high. Now, interest rates are said to be lowered by the end of this year, the beginning of 2024. So we will be waiting on that. Okay, I will definitely be waiting on her to be lowered for sure. But until then, real estate is kind of moving a little slower than normal, right? So I'm like, okay, I can't fully rely on real estate to pay my bills. So it's like, what is the next thing that I can do that would really like, help me and monetize real estate, since people know me for real estate. So that is where my girl ChatGPT came in. So if you guys do not know what ChatGPT is basically like a robot. And you can put anything into ChatGPT and it will help you. 9 times out of 10, when people do, and although this is the T, when people when people be like, oh, I want to give you the sauce on how to make your own digital product in 5 minutes. And, oh, I want to show you how to make your own course in 5 minutes. They're teaching you chat GBT. I just told the secret. I just told the secret that the gurus are paying you $1 million for. You're welcome. But yeah, I just told y'all a secret. It's ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is free. There's like different levels of ChatGPT, but like the most basic level is free, and the basic level girly, she do her thing. So basically with ChatGPT, I went into ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT. I was on there for like hours. And what I love about ChatGPT the most is that ChatGPT will spit you out ideas. So I went on there and I asked like, what kind of business can a realtor start? And then they gave me some business ideas. So I'm like, okay, what can a realtor do? What digital product can a realtor sell? What type of course can a realtor sell? What kind of consulting business could a realtor have? Like all those different types of questions. And with all the answers that it gave me, I was like, okay, I put something together. And so that's where Buy Young Live Smart comes from. Even ChatGPT gave me that name. So when I first put it in, it kept giving me a podcast idea. Now, mind you, I was never going to start a podcast. One moment. To start a podcast. Because I'm like, hell, I already got a YouTube channel. What the hell do I need to start a podcast for? You telling me I got to have a TikTok, an Instagram, a YouTube, and a podcast? Girl, go to hell in a handbasket with that one. That's too many platforms. But hear me out. Podcasts are elevating. Now I know that most podcasts, they are like about relationships and who cheats more and all types of just bullshit that we just don't care about. However, I wanted to come out with a podcast that was educational for our people. I'm not getting on a podcast talking about men cheat more than women or who should be in the kitchen. Absolutely not. So I was like, I want to come out with an educational podcast. I'm like a podcast about real estate, first time home buyers, experiences with first time home buyers. Like that is what I need to come out with. And so I'm just like, that is perfect. Now, when I came up with the podcast idea, I said, okay, let me come up with when I came up with the idea to help first time home buyers in their 20s. Well, I didn't even come up with the idea. ChatGPT came up with the idea for me, and I just kind of like formulated with all the answers I got. So when ChatGPT came up with the idea and I put it all together, I'm like, okay, cool. What do I need to talk about on the podcast? So then ChatGPT gave me those answers. And then I'm like, okay, what can I do? Like what can I monetize off of? Because mind you, you can make money off of a podcast, which I didn't even know that you can make money off of a podcast. Like I thought podcast people just make money off of like maybe sponsorships or ads that they get on their podcast, but no, Spotify actually pays you for the amount of listens that you get. And when you make a podcast, you have to get into the podcast like program, you have to get like 100 listens, your first 100 listens. Kind of like with YouTube, you got to get a certain amount of watch hours, you got to get like 100 listens. So once you get a couple listens on your podcast, then they go ahead and monetize you. So I'm like, okay, cool. That's another source of income. Cool, whatever, right? So I'm like, okay. But I'm not doing it for the money. I'm generally doing it because I want to like spread knowledge for, real estate and stuff like that. So once I go ahead and set up everything, then I asked ChatGPT for a name. So I asked ChatGPT for a name, but then I'm like, okay, I have a podcast, but I want something to go with the podcast. Like I want to do maybe a course, a coaching program, something to go with the podcast. So I'm like, that's when I actually ChatGPT for something else, and then it comes up with the course. So it comes up with the course, which is my course, which is the First Time Home Buyers Academy, that teaches entrepreneurs and professionals how to buy their first home in their 20s, whether it's an investment property, a property that they live in, a property they want to Airbnb or rent out. That is what it teaches. And when I tell you that that course is everything, that course is everything. And ChatGPT helps me come up with the idea. So that is why a robot helps me come up with my idea. Because when I tell you, I was on ChatGPT for hours, and I know like people have their like reserves. What is it like? Like people are skeptical. That's the word. People are skeptical about. Sorry, y'all. I'm a little lit. People are skeptical about using ChatGPT. But my thing is like, y'all, you gotta work smarter, not harder. I feel like everybody is trying so hard to promote this. Oh, I hustle, get it out the mud culture. No, baby, I don't want to work. Like, I want to work. Don't get me wrong. But if I can work smarter and not harder, oh, that's the one. Like people, you don't have to struggle in order to be rich. And I think that people feel like you have to struggle. You do not have to struggle. If it's I'm about to cuss. If I'm about to cuss too much. If it's a robot out here that is helping you out, do it. Now, when you use ChatGPT, I don't say copy and paste everything word for word, but it just like ChatGPT helps you get the ideas and helps you get stuff flowing. Don't be discouraged to use ChatGPT. Like y'all have to understand that ChatGPT is here to help us. Because eventually we're gonna go to robots. I mean, I feel like the world is going to robots. And it's fine. If the world is going to robots, let the world go to robots. However, them robots know what they talking about. So, with that being said, I'm gonna roll with them because they're helping me work smarter, not harder. And that's what y'all gotta understand. Work smarter, not harder. You do not have to struggle. I don't care what people say. You do not have to struggle. Do not feel like you have to get on this app and struggle and show that you made it out the mud. Baby, if I don't have to make it out the mud and I can work a little easier, I'm gonna work a little easier. Okay? Like I'm gonna work a little easier. I'm gonna, you know. So yeah. So that is pretty much it, y'all. That is my story time of how a robot helped me start my podcast and how a robot helped me start my new business. Definitely check it out. I'm going to link the ChatGPT that I used down below so you guys can sign up. All you need is a Google account, or you can sign up with a regular account. But me, I'm too lazy. I just signed with my Google account. I don't know who started the whole Google account thing where like all you got to do is have a Google account and you have an account. But shout out to them because that makes life so much easier. But anyway, that is pretty much it, you guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you love this video. And I will see you guys in my next one. Cheers. Bye.